Hola muchachos, ¿qué tal? Buenos días. Aquí tienen el horario para hoy, miércoles el 13 de noviembre. Reviewing notes that we took last class on telling time in Spanish using the verb ser, which is the verb to be, and numbers to tell time. The question ¿Qué hora es? Is asking what time is it? And as we talked about last class, to answer that question, we will begin with the expression es la for the 1 o'clock hour, or son las for the 2 o'clock hour and beyond. As in English, we have a few expressions that we can use for a quarter of an hour and a half an hour. You could use cuarto or quince to say it's a quarter past or 15 minutes past. For example, es la 1:15, it's a quarter past 1, or es la 1:15. It's 1:15. Cuarto and quince being equivalent, cuarto being a quarter of an hour, or otherwise expressed as 15 minutes. Media, meaning half an hour, or treinta, as you can see there, can be used synonymously. And then finally, the expression menos, meaning until, and then expressing however many minutes until the top of that hour. For example, es la 1:15, it's a quarter to 1. Son las 3:15, it is 15 minutes until 3. Page 51 has some other useful expressions, such as the question ¿a qué hora?, asking at what time something takes place. ¿A qué hora? At what time? And then the response beginning with a la, if it's the 1 o'clock hour, or a las, if it's the 2 o'clock hour or beyond. Other useful expressions to tell time in Spanish. En punto, meaning on the dot, or sharp. For example, son las 8 en punto, it's 8 o'clock sharp. Es el mediodía, to say noon or middle of the day. Es la medianoche, to say it is midnight. Son las 9 de la mañana, 9 o'clock in the morning. De la tarde, in the afternoon. De la noche, in the night or evening. We finished off last class with the intentero at the bottom of page 51, and we are going to continue with some practice. And this is your warm-up on page 52. Activity 1, put these times in the correct order from earliest to latest, paying attention to the times of day, de la mañana, de la tarde, and de la noche. That would be your first method to utilize to distinguish which is which, and then within those times of day, which ones come first. That's your warm-up. Activity 2, given the times provided, express the time as it would be in Spanish. So for example, 4:15 in the afternoon would be son las 4:15. Remember, cuarto meaning a quarter of an hour. Or son las 4:15. 4:15, either way. And then, of course, de la tarde, in the afternoon. And finally, for activity 3, I'll do part 1, you do part 2. I'll ask you at what time, a qué hora, the following events take place, and then based on the time provided in parentheses, you'll tell me that time in Spanish, beginning with es, to say it is, whatever it is we're talking about. Es, and then a la, if the time is 1 o'clock, or a las, if the time is not 1 o'clock, and then the hour, the minutes, place, and the time of day. For example, ¿a qué hora es la clase de matemáticas? What time is math class? Es, it is, es a las 2:30 de la tarde. Or es a las 2:30 de la tarde. Remember, media or treinta, synonymous expressions. We will finish up with the comunicación, listening to the audio recording here, and determining as to whether or not these statements are lógico, accurate, or ilógico, inaccurate, based upon the information provided. For those of you watching at home, I don't know if you're able to access the audio. I believe that you should by logging on to your Clever. Show you. Logging on to your Clever account, and then you should see Vista Higher Learning. And then clicking there, being able to open the online textbook. I know we haven't really done that at home too much. But in any case, if you're able to, you would click on this button that says escuchar. Escuchar means to listen. But I'm going to go ahead and play the audio for you now just in case, so that you could check your answers at home.
¿A qué hora es la clase de español?
Es a las 11:30.
¿Y a qué hora es la clase de historia?
Es a la 1:15.
Sí. ¿Y la fiesta? ¿A qué hora es?
¿La fiesta? ¿Hay una fiesta?
Sí, la fiesta de Rafael.
Ah, sí, Rafael, el chico de la clase de biología. La fiesta de Rafael es a las 8.
So answering those questions, lógico or ilógico, based on the information provided. And then the last thing we're going to do today is give you guys time in class to work on your homework. And that is to play these 3 online games and to take screenshots of having successfully completed all 3 with a perfect score. Game 1. Press play. And even though it's timed, you don't need to worry about doing it within a particular time. You are going to choose the hand of the clock, or the area of the clock, that matches the minutes place. So y media is a half of an hour. 30 minutes, right? Menos 20, remember menos means until. So it's indicating however many minutes until the top of the hour. So you would kind of start here and then go backward, menos, and then go backward 20 minutes. 20 minutes until the top of the hour. That would be 8. 40, right? One more together. 25, 25 after, would be 5. 25. Okay? Take a screenshot of that bad boy when you're done with it. Now for this one, it's a little tricky. First of all, because you got hella ads. Apologize for those. But you're automatically brought to activity. We don't want to practice. We don't want to review. We want to practice. So we have to click here for the practice. And then based on the time provided, choose the time expressed in Spanish. 3 o'clock en español. Son las 3 en punto.
Son las 3 en punto.
Next. 2 o'clock. Son las 2 en punto.
Son las 2 en punto.
Etc., etc. Clicking next, and then choosing, in this case, the hand of the clock that matches son las 2 en punto.
Son las 2 en punto.
And then finally, game 3, a little bit more involved here. Let's see if I can fit this in. Who wants to be a millionaire? You can use the hints to eliminate one of these responses, but you have to get a perfect score in this one too. This one may take the most time. 7 o'clock, son las 7. 5 o'clock, son las 5. Es las 5 wouldn't work because es la is only used for 1 o'clock. And then if you get stuck, you can use a hint if you're not sure. Like if you can't tell the difference between 7 y 6. Well, that was helpful. Definitely not 7. Son las 6. Take a screenshot of that. When you're done, submit all 3 images in Canvas as evidence of having completed your homework for today.